Oh, the power to be strong and the wisdom to be wise. All these things will come to you in time. Leave it to Phil Collins to make a beautiful, absolutely genius movie soundtrack. Yeah. So this video actually stems from something I said like a week or so ago about that around there. And in case you didn't notice, and I'll probably put it down in the description. Yeah, I believe I shall. I made a video that was actually a response to a question about my thoughts about Naruto as a character, and that was nearly a 50-minute long video. I think it was like 48 minutes or whatever. This video clearly will not be that long because in that one I had to deal with five. I think I was reading something and giving my thoughts on what the person said, and as well as I gave 5 different extensive points, or I expounded upon the points I made. I only have 3 for this one, and this one is Sasuke as a character. We're talking about Uchiha Sasuke. Now, first and foremost, there's a lot of hate towards Sasuke. There's a lot of, there used to be a bunch of fanboyism. I don't really see that much anymore, for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of hate, not as much anymore either, which is good too. And I used to, I was with the character, but coming around, I understand what Kishimoto's doing with the character. Okay, and I say this, even though Orochimaru's even not that bad of a character now that I get to more see about him, he's not a great character by any means. I keep telling people there's only 3 characters I like in Naruto. There's Gaara, Rock Lee, and Uchiha Madara, all for different reasons. And someday I may talk about that. But in regards to Sasuke, I don't mind him. For the most part, I don't mind him. The problems I have with him are his mood swings and his just like that whole revenge thing. But I'll get to all of that later on. But there's a couple problems I have with him. Other than that, I don't have a problem with him. I don't. I understand his, if you understand his characterization, as wacky as it may be sometimes, you understand, somewhat of his character development. You understand his role in the Naruto world. Look, man, he's more of a shinobi than Naruto is. I'll tell you that right now. At least Sasuke will put in that work. Naruto, come on now. Sasuke will kill a fool. He attempted to kill Madara. Now, I blame, you know what though? I blame the way Sasuke is on Kishimoto's bad writing. I really do. Sasuke, like, I'll go more into this in a bit. He does some badass things, but he's not a badass. Sasuke, he has potential. Like so many of Naruto world, he has potential. Gaara, Rock Lee, oh shoot, the whole list. There's so many have potential, but Kishimoto doesn't use it right. In the same sense, Sasuke, especially as the deuteragonist to Naruto, the protagonist, Sasuke has so much potential, but Kishimoto. But enough of that. Characterization of Sasuke. I'll break this down into 3 parts. Number 1, his actual character. Number 2, his goal. And number 3, what do I want to do? Number 3, his philosophy, his thoughts. Now, Sasuke as a character is an interesting one. I will say that. From the first moment we meet Sasuke, this is what it is. That in of itself, I gotta give Kishimoto props for that one. It means he's thinking. Okay? That in of itself is thinking. And it means, what was he, like 11, 12 at the time? 12, 13, somewhere around there? 11, 12, 13? And this dude's already thinking. You talk about adult stuff. And then what is the first thing? Kakashi's like, what do you want? He talks to Naruto. And Naruto's like, I want Hokage. I think Sakura says something about Sasuke or her. I don't know, some foolishness like that. But then Sasuke goes and he says, I want to kill somebody. It's like, whoa, time out. Whoa, all right. So this dude's, I ain't gonna say he's a thinker, but he's thoughtful. He's thinking, which is something Naruto doesn't do most of the time. So that's already a contrasting personality when you think in comparison between the 2 characters. Now, the 2 main characters. And when you look also at him, he's trying to be an adult as a young person. So, that's going to present problems later on. When you try to be older than what you are. I'm talking about your mentality. I'm not saying that life hasn't shaped you that way. No, 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 no. I'm not saying you're mature. But what I'm saying, you're trying to act mature, more mature than what you are. Sasuke wasn't, he's highly ambitious. He gets cocky, He goes in there, he's said to be a genius and all these things, which lead to his downfall at the same time. It leads to him achieving greatness, but at the same time or can achieve greatness, but at the same time it leads to him presenting a downfall, which makes him actually quite an interesting character, one of the most interesting in the story of Naruto, okay, and probably actually one of the most interesting characters in recent shonen history, possibly recent fiction history, I don't know. So the character of Sasuke is a character of a dilemma. He's a potential tragic character, okay, and he's a potential very highly successful character. So when you take all that in consideration, you look how it plays out over his life. He, his ambition, he doesn't need anybody, he can do it, he can, all this and that, and he's got the smarts, he's this, he's got the looks, everything about him, everything's going for him. But at the same time, everything that's going for him is both a blessing and a curse. And not on a lot of people. His blessing and a curse is how Sasuke uses his gifts and talents. That's the thing about it. However Sasuke uses it. So it's very much on what he actually does. I don't believe in that whole creation of destiny nonsense that people choose it. No. But what I do say is you do, especially somebody like Sasuke, when some people have certain talents and gifts and they've been put in the proper time, how they respond to the circumstances, how they respond to what life throws at them, to where their life path, what life path do they choose, it's on them. And that's the same thing with Sasuke. Sasuke is trying to figure it out, because you also got to understand, and this is going into the goal part. I told y'all this isn't going to be that long of a video. It'll probably extend maybe 15-20, but anyways, Sasuke's goal. Originally, Sasuke's goal, what did I say? To kill a man. Then it was something about a vengeance of the Uchiha clan. Then he finds out, after, doing what he does, that apparently he was wrong. Now, Sasuke then starts going down a dark road in the darkness and all this. And then we're at the point where, if you're, don't mean to be spoiler, if you just watch anime only, whatever. I'm not a Naruto fan, so I don't even care really all that much. Anyways, Sasuke, he is about yo, I want to be Hokage now. And that's throwing people off. Now, while I understand the complaints about Sasuke never saying blah, 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 and I don't like the whole damage control, I don't like the whole fanboyism about, but this is it. No. I don't care about all that hinting. I care about literature, okay? From a literary perspective, I understand his goal. Even though I do think it's kind of BS, that now all of a sudden in this whole war arc, because you hear, Itachi, you hear, Senju Hashirama, you hear Hashirama's speech, now all of a sudden you change it, which I don't necessarily buy. I think he wants Hokage for his own personal thing, his own personal goal, because this is Sasuke. Even though he's been bipolar, and that's another thing, even though his mood swings, he's questionably neurotic, on some kind of Matori Ryuko status. At least Ryuko, that's a whole nother thing with her neuroticism. But anyways, when it comes to Sasuke and his neurotic mood swings, you also got to take into consideration that he's 16 years old. He's been given all this power, but he's too young. Same thing with Naruto. Similar situation that Kishimoto set up. When you look at it, his goal, his quest for now Hokage actually does make sense, because once he actually learned the history behind all this jazz, once he continues to see what's called the cycle of hatred. When he continues to see all these fools, he's hearing from Madara. And you look at all these things that's going on in this war. And then when you look at also the consideration that Naruto is not ready to be a Hokage. Naruto represents a BS idealism. I talked about that in the video that I did. When you take all those factors into consideration, it actually does make sense that Sasuke would actually want to be Hokage, because it seems like it would, complete his goal now. And his goal is to right the wrongs of what happened to his clan, the Uchiha clan. They were massacred. So yeah. You may have gotten revenge. It's not even vengeance. You know, he ain't Kurapika. And that's another thing. He ain't no Kurapika. I tell you that. He's a knockoff of Kurapika. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. Anyways. Okay. So what am I gonna do to honor the memory of my clan that was massacred? How am I gonna rewrite the history? You know, well, not rewrite the history, but repair the history. Well, Madara tried to be Hokage. People forget that. He was, you know, then his clan was what, you know, segregated and wiped out. How about Uchiha being the Hokage? Maybe it's bring closure and an end to all this jazz. And people say what they, you know, maybe Naruto and over shit. We don't know. You know, I still kind of I buy from an ideological standpoint the clash between Naruto and Sasuke for Hokage. And I don't see any time it needs a time skip. Even if that's the end of the series, maybe a 5-10, 10 year, because we do still have Tsunade, I mean, you have Kakashi, you have other people who could be Hokage before these two. You know, so I don't see anything. Maybe a decade plus, 15 years. 15 years makes sense. And you have Naruto actually gotten older and actually gotten wiser, because he can't be Sage of Six Paths right now for a lot of reasons. You got Sasuke, with all that. So, I can see it from an ideological standpoint. It makes sense. It does make sense. Because at the end of the day, I don't buy Sasuke being the same way. And at the same point, you also got to consider Orochimaru. He may have a hand on it. So, Sasuke may become some kind of hybrid thing. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just saying. So, the jury's still out on Sasuke's goal. You understand what I'm saying? I just think it's a means to an end. That's all it is. It's a means to an end to justify, well, not to justify, but to what's the word I'm looking for? To repair the damage that's done to his clan. He's, it's what? Obito, him. I mean, Madara's alive again, but Obito, him, and I guess Madara now too. And how many Uchihas are left? Is that it? I mean, Itachi's dead. I personally don't know of any other Uchiha, so you could tell me. What is it, Kabuto? Is Kabuto an Uchiha as well? I don't know, but anyways, not many Uchihas are left. Understand it. And I don't know if any female Uchihas left, so that's another thing got to take into consideration. But anyways, what did I say? I said characterization. I said goals, and what he means to the story. Sasuke to the story. Sasuke, he represents, how do I say this? This word starts getting dicey. Sasuke to the story. See, here's the thing, man. The story's been so focused on, I know the title's Naruto, but you see in Toriko, like, there's a focus on Toriko, but there's an expansion on plenty of other characters, like, Koko, Sani, Zeburo, the four Evil Kings, three other, then Komatsu, the Dragonist. You have President Ichirayu, Midora, Jiro, Setsuno, just to name a few characters. Even Tengu Branchi, who's got in there. I mean, Tommy Rod, Stage. But you know what I'm saying? Naruto, such focus has been put on Uzumaki Naruto that Sasuke has to have played a more serious role than he should have played. So with that being said, that's what's kind of hurt the story. If we were going to do this, I would have rather Sasuke have been the main character, the protagonist of Naruto, than Naruto himself. Because Sasuke, you could have done so much with his character. You could do so much with his character because of what he represents, because of the way the story's written. Now, I wouldn't have written the story the way it is. First of all, I've made Naruto wouldn't have been in the shinobi world, or he would have been completely different. When it comes to Sasuke, the thing about him is, I don't know what he is. He's either an anti-villain or an anti-hero. I'm not sure exactly which Sasuke is. He's very selfish at times. So, he represents, in a lot of ways, all of what's wrong, or what's been wrong, what Tobirama deemed wrong with the Uchiha clan. But by this point in the story, the Uchiha clan have been so beaten down, so nearly eradicated, that, Sasuke just like Madara. So in that sense, Madara and him actually do compare. Every other sense I don't buy. I don't buy in power or anything like that. But in the sense that they represent, in this era, it's some kind of reincarnation, you could say, how Sasuke represents what Madara represents. And it was different, but it's the same thing. While Madara in his era was a child soldier, he was a product of his era, of his time and era, of his environment and era. Same thing with Sasuke. Sasuke, his clan was massacred. You look at it to where the five, the five of the Kages, they're now starting to come together. The five clan, in an alliance against a common enemy. Or all this hatred that's been around. I mean, you see what happened with Naruto. Well, what about Sasuke? You know what I'm saying? He grew up in this tumultuous time as well. So that's helped shape it. And he's going to get that hell back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Obito was created because of this foolishness. And so the cycle continues. So you think it was going to stop with Sasuke? No. It's going to continue through Sasuke. But Sasuke is a pivotal player because he can help bring the change. This is the generation that's supposed to bring the change. So that's what I think Kishimoto's trying to do. His execution has been poor at times, but that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to show that Sasuke, even though born through this, he's trying to bring the change. It's bringing full circle to what happened with Madara. And actually bringing back Madara was actually probably the best thing he's done in the series. Second to the whole Kage Summit raid. The whole Kage Summit raid, yo. I gotta give props to Sasuke for that. Dumb as hell, but I gotta give props because he challenged the Kages. He putting that work on the Kages. Now the Kages about to kill him, but he put that work on the Kage, man. I gotta say that. So I'm just saying though. And it brought to light the flaws in the whole Kage. Remember, the Kages were all bickering and foolishness, but then you have Sasuke. His attack makes them come together and see that whoa, we can't. All this infighting doesn't help anything. So you know what I'm saying. So Sasuke actually plays a huge role in Naruto, not because he's just a dude of Ragnus, but because ideologically. From a story standpoint, historically and all this. It's just that Kishimoto didn't write it right. He didn't write it correctly. You can't get over it. He didn't write the character Sasuke correctly. He should have made them older. See, Sasuke, here's the thing. Sasuke should have came in about the same age as Luffy. If he would have came in at 16 or 17, because Luffy came in the story at 17. And then we saw post-time skip Luffy's 19. Same thing with Usopp. Usopp and him came in the same thing. I mean, this is like, shoot, he couldn't even come in at the age of 15 like a doggone Chopper did. See, because if you look at it, or what he could have done if he didn't do that, he could have made him more like Naruto and Sasuke, more like Gon Freaks and Killua Zoldyck from Hunter x Hunter, where they were 12 coming in, but they were already pretty mature. Obviously they're still teen and then still going, and the character development is there, especially with Killua. Sasuke should have had a boatload of character development. Not the only one, but he should have had a boatload of character development. But what Sasuke did, instead of character development, you put his mind all over the place. So, is what it is. So overall, Sasuke as a character is important, but was mishandled. And it was a great missed opportunity that Kishimoto had with this character and with the story of Naruto. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? The Unexpected Wonder. Like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, man, no, I don't hate the character of Sasuke. I'm disappointed, I should say, in how he was mishandled throughout all these many years. All this, 15 or so years. Yeah. And well, y'all, till next time, peace.